I am that, by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Chapter 6. Meditation. Questioner. All teachers advise to meditate. What is the purpose of meditation? Maharaj. We know the outer world of sensations and actions, but of our inner world of thoughts and feelings, we know very little. The primary purpose of meditation is to become conscious of and familiar with our inner life. The ultimate purpose is to reach the source of life and consciousness. Incidentally, the practice of meditation affects deeply our character. We are slaves to what we do not know of. Of what we know, we are masters. Whatever vice or weakness in ourselves we discover and come to understand its causes and its workings, we overcome it by the very knowing. The unconscious dissolves when brought into conscious. The dissolution of unconscious releases energy. The mind feels adequate and becomes quiet. Questioner. What is the use of a quiet mind? Maharaj. When the mind is quiet, we come to know ourselves as the pure witness. We withdraw from the experience and its experiencer and stand apart in pure awareness, which is between and beyond the two. The personality, based on self-identification, on imagining oneself to be something like I am this or I am that, continues, but only as a part of the objective world. Its identification with the witness snaps. Questioner. As I can make out, I live on many different levels, and life on each level requires energy. The self, by its very nature, delights in everything, and its energies flow outwards. Is it not the purpose of meditation to dam up the energies on the higher levels, or to push them back and up so as to enable the higher levels to prosper also? Maharaj, it is not so much a matter of levels as it is of gunas or qualities. Meditation is a sattvic activity and aims at complete elimination of tamas, which is inertia, and rajas, which is motivity. Pure sattva, which is harmony, is perfect freedom from sloth and restlessness. The narrator would like to add a comment here. According to the Vedanta system and the yoga system and the Sankhya yoga system, which are all based on experience, they are not simply theories or doctrines or philosophies. They are transcriptions of personal experience of various individuals. According to this experience, when matter is analyzed and decomposed to its minutest components, such that it can no further be decomposed, it is observed that all matter is made of three different modalities or principles or forces. These are Rajas, which stands for restlessness or motivation to act. The chief characteristic of Rajas Guna is it incites one into action. Tamas, which denotes, signifies inertia, indolence, sloth. And Sattva or Sattvic Guna. The Sattvic modality stands for purity, perfection, harmony, goodness. A person who has predominantly Rajasic qualities or Rajas modality will be very anxious, restless, will be prompt to act, will always be active, will be unable to sit at a place alone with himself. If they're left to themselves, they will either switch on the television or they will go somewhere. They'll pick up their car and go for a long drive, or go to another state probably, or the other end of the city, or they'll organize a meeting or pick up the phone and talk to someone. They're all basically restless. A person who is tamasic or has the tamas modality operating will be very lazy. If left to himself or herself, will not want to talk to anyone, will just want to sleep or watch the television and eat. They will be under mental duress. So sloth, indolence, inertia, and not seeing things for what they are characteristics of tamas, the tamas modality. And then each of these characteristics which I've just outlined further have ramifications. So a person who is restless further will have many other offshoots or variants of those qualities or characteristics, such as restlessness. There will be offshoots of that restlessness. That is, the person will then, due to the anxiety, will always crave for fulfillment. So they will be too much into eating, depression, wanting illicit sexual favors. These are offshoots, and there is no end to this process. One thing leads to another. Similarly, the tamasic person who's too lazy, too inactive, will have the tendency to cut corners at work, to try to do things which require no work but get money. They will be very manipulative, and so on. The third modality is sattva or sattvic guna. Someone whose mind is in the sattvic state will be pure. There will be purity in their heart. There will be love in their heart. There will be radiant joy and bliss. a calm. They will be very calm. Unlike tamasic person who also will be sitting quietly, the tamasic person's head will not be at rest. The tamasic person will just be spaced out, or they'll be thinking dirty stuff. The sattvic person will also be sitting quietly, but his eyes will be calm, his face will be calm, his mind will be pure, joyous, radiating love and light, and they will scarce feel troubled by any of the vicissitudes of life. They will always be in an equipoise. They will have mental perfection. Their heart will have devotion for God, love for everyone. They will be very charitable. They will not be very judgmental of others. They will be very forgiving. It'll be very difficult to annoy them or irritate them or get them to get angry. So these are the three modalities. It does not mean that a person is simply rajasic or any person can simply be only tamasic. Every person has a little bit of each of these three forces, because that is what matter is made of according to these systems. The systems of yoga and Vedanta and Sankhya, which are again based on experience, as has also been the experience of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, as indicated in this dialogue. And anyone who endeavors on this path will have these experiences. That matter is ultimately made of these forces. So no person has only just one quality. Everybody has all the three, but one or more of the qualities will predominate the other two, and at different times different qualities will take over and overwhelm the mind of a person. So a person who is predominantly rajasic will also have times when they are very sattvic. Similarly, a person who is sattvic will have some bit of rajas in him also. That's the end of the narrator's comment. Back to the book. Questioner: how to strengthen and purify the sattva? Maharaj: the sattva is pure and strong always. It is like the sun. It may seem obscured by clouds and dust, but only from the point of view of the perceiver. Deal with the causes of obscuration, not with the sun. Questioner: what is the use of sattva? Maharaj: what is the use of truth, goodness, harmony, beauty? They are their own goal. They manifest spontaneously and effortlessly when things are left to themselves and not interfered with, not shunned or wanted or conceptualized, but just experienced in full awareness. Such awareness itself is sattva. It does not make use of things and people. It fulfills them. The narrator again would like to comment here. The last line of the previous dialogue was, Maharaj said, it does not make use of things and people. It fulfills them, referring to the sattva quality. Does it mean that a person who is predominantly sattvic does not use things and people? No, it means he does not objectify people. People who have higher rajas and tamas, specifically rajas, they objectify people, they like to move people around, they're industrious in nature, they're ambitious in nature, they want to amass wealth, they're always calculating things, evaluating different options, and they objectify everything, so much so that it is almost that they even objectify the people in their lives. But a sattvic person who is predominantly ruled by the sattva guna does not do that. He treats himself and everybody else with an equality, with reverence, and with devotion. End of narrator's comment. Questioner: since I cannot improve sattva, am I to deal with tamas and rajas only? How can I deal with them? Maharaj: by watching their influence in you and on you. Be aware of them in operation. Watch their expressions in your thoughts, words, and deeds, and gradually their grip on you will lessen, and the clear light of sattva will emerge. It is neither difficult nor a protracted process. Earnestness is the only condition for success. The narrator would like to further comment on this. Of the three gunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva, the sattvic guna neutralizes or eliminates rajas and tamas. So the way to liberation is to increase the sattva guna in oneself, so that the sattva guna will chop off or destroy the rajas and tamas gunas. And when there remains predominantly sattvic guna in the mind of a person, then he becomes fit for liberation. He is not liberated then. He becomes a candidate, an adhikari, because he has worked very hard to inculcate, to develop the sattvic guna, and that sattvic guna would have undermined or decimated the other two gunas. Not completely eliminated, because you need a little bit of rajas and a little bit of tamas to operate in life. Otherwise, a person cannot completely operate. You need a little bit of likes and dislikes, which are characteristics of rajas. Otherwise, how will you enjoy not very materialistic things, but simple things like your food? Someone may like, for example, chole bhature or rajma chawal or sambar chawal or something. He may be a very good person, but still he may have a little bit of liking, not as much as a very materialistic person will have, not a chronic liking, but still they will like little things like walking in the park or just being silent. Some of these likes and dislikes are born out of the rajas quality. A person who completely does not have any rajas, although such a person it's not possible at all to have, but hypothetically, if there were a person who didn't have any rajas, would be completely ambivalent of any type of food, any type of situation, you put them anywhere. If it was summer and you put them in a room without an air conditioner and it was 44 degrees Celsius, and you didn't even give them a fan, they would still not complain. If you put them in horrible conditions of pain, they would still not even shirk, they would not even blink an eye, they would not even bat an eyelid. So that's the kind of a person who wouldn't have any guna except sattva. And such a person is not possible because they would not be able to operate in the real world. So even the highest spiritually elevated soul will willfully retain a slight bit of rajas and tamas. And tamas, you need tamas because at night you need to go to sleep. So your mind needs that tamasic quality at night, at certain times when the body wants rest. But the difference is a person who is on his way to liberation. I'm not even saying a liberated person. A liberated person is something it's a very advanced stage. But even a person who is on his way to liberation, who has taken all this seriously and is working towards it, even such a person will have tamas, but he will have cultivated control over when he wants to bring about tamas in himself. The only difference between him and a regular ordinary person, a materialistic person, would be that the materialistic person has no control over any of these qualities. He's as though being driven by these impulses, having no control over them. End of narrator's comment.